pop, 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 pop. Let's do this. All right, here's your English teacher, George Jaramillo. I've spent over 3 years with students who have taught me so much. One of the things they taught me is that you need to really give this English language your all. Like if you're training for the Olympics, you can't just pretend to meet with me once a week and become fluent. I'm going to show you how to study for 1 month, but I'm going to show you how to get on the right track. And after 1 month, you're going to see progress, but you have to study at least 30 minutes a day. So this video, we're going to focus on shadowing. And I'm also going to show you how to study with this shadowing method to get the most out of your time. You're going to set your timer for 30 minutes. You're going to go to a quiet area. Nobody's going to bother you. And you're going to do it every day. Take Sundays off. Okay, that's fine. Every day for 1 month, and you're going to see fluency. Otherwise, if you don't take your time, if you don't take 30 minutes a day, if you don't do it every day, you're going to keep jumping from video to video and going from teacher to teacher. Oh, I don't know why I don't sound fluent. Well, this is why. Because today you're going to decide that you're going to take this English language seriously. Like if you were training for the Olympics. Some of your jobs depend on this, by the way. So, you know what we're going to focus with this shadowing? You know why this is going to be so effective? Because you're going to learn the intonation, you're going to learn the pitch, you're going to learn the rhythm. You're going to learn how to link some of these words. And I'm going to teach you how to practice. I'm also going to teach you what to look out for. So obviously I can't cover everything in this video. So there are going to be other videos, of other techniques that you can use. But shadowing right now, my friends, we are shadow. All right, guys, so now basically we're going to get on my computer. You're going to be looking over my shoulder. I'm going to give you a bunch of tools for you guys to work with when you shadow, right? So the first tool I'm going to show you is this website called Youglish. And we're going to find a video that you feel comfortable with. When you get on this website, you're going to kind of type in some words that you're familiar with, particular to your industry or your profession. All right, so let's get to it. So the first thing I want to do is I want to click on this little arrow. Let's just concentrate on the US of A. So we've got that. So now, like I was explaining, if you've got a profession and you have some key terminology or words that are relevant to that profession, then that's one way to find a video that's going to help you out. Let me see. Let's come up with what can we do? Logistics. Logistics, maybe? So I would type in logistics. So we're on Youglish, and I typed in, some keyword relevant to my profession. And now I'm going to hit on YouTube so that it takes me to that same video on YouTube. Okay, so here we go. 3 little dots down here. We're going to open this transcript. So here's where most people make a mistake. They start reading. You don't want to read. You want to shadow. Why did I open the transcript? Because I'm going to use this to cue. What does cue mean? That means that if I'm practicing this sentence, I'm going to click on here, and it's going to take me exactly to 48. So I'm never going to have to rewind like this, like the old way. This is horrible. This is tedious. I'm going to click, click, click wherever I want. But I am not going to be looking at it. I'm not going to be reading this. That's ridiculous if you read it, because if you read it, you're going to make the mistake of sounding how you think you should sound. We want to sound like the native speaker. And we don't want to sound like a typewriter either. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how we're going to use this shadowing. So here I'm going to point to what I want to play, and I'm going to keep my right hand on the trackpad, you see? And my left hand is going to be on the space bar. So this is going to play and stop, all right? So I'm going to show you how I do it.
In the year 1620,
See, with my right finger, I keep clicking on the trackpad as I hover over here, and that allows me to keep playing it on a loop. So now the space bar is going to play it.
In the year 1620.
And I could stop it with the space bar. So now you understand what I'm doing here and why I open the transcript. So this is gonna save you so much headaches being able to do this.
In the year six,
If I want to scroll to another if I want to queue up to later on in the video, I just scroll down here, click this one, and the same thing.
to benefit if they could start delivering cargo 25 times faster.
Ready?
In the year 1620,
Okay, it's a little fast, so I'm going to slow it down. I'm going to pretend I'm a student, okay? So let me slow it down to about a 0.8, okay?
in the year 1620,
Okay, I'm not going to read it. Maybe I'll listen to it a couple of times and I'll get familiar with it.
in the year 1620, the Mayflower set sail on a 64-day journey to cross the Atlantic Ocean.
Okay, but now I'm not going to read it, okay? If I read it, then I could fall into a trap of sounding like me, you know? Well, just pretend I'm a student, okay? So, here we go. I'm listening.
In the year 1620,
First thing I notice is in the year, he says it pretty fast. It sounds like it's fast. He's just putting all the words together. In the year, in the year, in the year. So I'm going to make a note of that. I'm going to make a note of that. And I already went ahead and made some notes. So in the year, in the year, in the year. So I'm going to practice that little part. I'm going to practice slow and then I'm going to speed it up. In the year, 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 in the year. Make sure I pronounce these R's. In the year, in the year, in the year. Okay, so let's continue.
in the year 1620,
In the year 1620. In the year 1620.
in the year 1620, the Mayflower set sail.
The Mayflower set sail. I'm listening for the intonation and the rhythms, okay? In the year 1620, the Mayflower set sail. The Mayflower set sail.
In the year 1620, the Mayflower set sail on a 64-day journey.
On a 64-day journey. See, I'm not saying it like I think it should be, especially if I'm a foreign speaker. I'm not saying in the 64. No, I'm doing it with the American rhythm. So here
In
we
the
go.
year 1620,
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-da. In the year 1620.
the Mayflower set sail.
The Mayflower set sail. I'm listening to everything this guy's doing. The Mayflower set sail. In the year 1620, the Mayflower set sail.
On a 64-day journey.
On a 64-day journey. And I'm looking over there so you guys can see that I'm not reading it. On a 64-day journey.
To cross the Atlantic Ocean.
To cross the Atlantic Ocean. To cross the Atlantic Ocean. And I would memorize that sentence. I'm not going to memorize it now, but I would memorize that sentence and I would make sure it's perfect before going on to the next one.
Bringing the first pilgrims from England to America.
Bringing the first pilgrims from England to America. Now there's a pause after England. And these pauses are very, very important. A lot of foreign speakers do not want to pause. They just want to ba 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 ba. And the reason they want to ba 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 is, first of all, they think that their pronunciation is so bad that they just want to get through with it, especially in the meetings. But we have a hard time understanding ba 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 ba. So no ba 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 ba. Not in my class anyway.
Bringing the first pilgrims from England to America.
Bringing the first pilgrims from England to America.
In 1919, pilots Alcock and Brown.
In 1919, pilots Alcock and Brown. Now, here you might want to read, because I understand this Alcock is the last name, but you might say, what are they saying? So, okay, you can read 1919 pilots Alcock and Brown. So, and I want to see how he says and, because I don't think he says and. You can say and, but I don't think he's doing it. Remember, we're shadowing. We want to sound exactly like him.
In 1919, pilots Alcock and Brown.
And Brown. So I made a note of that. And can get reduced to an. England, where we don't say England, so we would say England. So the A is silent. And can get reduced to an. Let's listen to this word completed.
Completed the first.
Completed. So he doesn't say completed. Ta. He says completed. And that's in my other videos. So those are the kind of things that you want to listen to when you're doing shadowing. Now, 30 minutes, You probably get through 2, 3, 4 sentences, but you have to memorize these sentences and they have to be perfect. They cannot sound different. They have to sound exactly like it. So if you take 30 minutes on 2 sentences, that's it. That's good. If you take 30 minutes on 1 sentence, that's it. That's good. But it's got to be perfect, because I don't want you going through this whole video and then you're back to square one, jumping from video to video on YouTube, looking for answers, please, and going from teacher to teacher to teacher to teacher, and then you want to give up. No, 30 minutes a day you do this. If you don't do it every day, then you're not going to learn, okay? Unless you live with native speakers and they're speaking to you in English all day. That's the only way you're ever going to sound fluent. That's the only way you're going to sound fluent. But if you don't have that luxury, then you have to submerge yourself in this English language. This is the only way, by listening and by shadowing. 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 So it's my pleasure to show you this shadowing method. Now, I know this was a very condensed video. It was very quick. I have to keep the information very fast, and I just focus on pronunciation. That's everything. That's all for me is pronunciation. Grammar, vocabulary, that's okay. You have better vocabulary and grammar than most Americans, including myself. We don't learn that way. But what we do have is the pronunciation. What we do have is the fluency. That's what you need. That's what's setting you apart, okay? So I want you to sound very, very good, because it does make a difference. When you sound fluent, when you sound American, it makes a big difference, okay? Especially if you're working with sales or with companies or Zoom meetings or whatever. You see what I'm saying? You need to sound good. So subscribe to my channel and let's do this. 30 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day, 1 month. 1 month, and then you send me some comments. Let me know how it's going. All right, guys. See you. See you guys.